Hey everyone, welcome to I Dream of Homestead. I'm Josephina and today we are in the kitchen working on some lunch for the kids, a really simple and easy sopa de conchas. Let's get started with grabbing some ingredients. Sopa de Conchas is just a soup that translates to shell soup. And the reason why it's called shell soup is just because the shape that I'm using is shell. So if I went and I got the other shapes, then I could do sopa de fideo, sopa de estrellas, sopa de letras, sopa de dinosaurios, whatever shape. But this is a brand that I grew up eating. This is like a huge staple in our home as well as it was in my home when I was little. This is just a really quick, easy way to give your kids a really yummy warm meal that doesn't take a whole lot of time. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna heat up my pot with some oil so that I can saute the onions as well as the shells, because just like when I make Mexican rice, I wanna toast up the pasta. That way it takes in some of that flavor of the oil. And then also it gives it that yummy kind of like nutty flavor that pasta gets in rice when you toast it. So we're gonna start off by doing that. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys, my stove is dirty. I didn't really do anything to prepare my kitchen for a video today. I'm just kind of going with it. And I'm sure somebody's gonna appreciate the realness of a dirty stove. I've got one small onion that I roughly chopped. Adding that into the oil. And I'm also gonna add in half of this bag. It's 7 ounces, so I only need 3.5 ounces of it. And that's just because I'm only feeding 2 kids, so I don't wanna make a huge batch of this. And while the onion and pasta are sauteing, I'm going to work on the tomato and the garlic that I need to make the broth for the soup. All I'm doing for the tomato is cutting it into quarters and putting it right into my blender cup. And you want to make sure that you're stirring your conchas and your onions every couple of minutes just to make sure that they don't burn on one side. That way it gets an even toast all the way around. And all I'm doing with the garlic is just smashing, peeling, and adding them right in with the tomatoes. And so now this gets pureed until it is completely smooth. And now that's completely pureed, so I'm going to set that to the side while these shells and the onions continue to toast. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can tell as well through camera, but there's lots of toasty marks all over the pasta, and my onions are getting translucent. So now at this point, I'm gonna add in the tomato sauce that I just mixed up, and I'm gonna let that saute in this pan for a few minutes just to get that raw tomato flavor out of it before I add in broth. And of course, I added in some water just so that I can get out the rest of the tomato that's in the cup. And since we've got a few minutes while we're waiting for that tomato to just get a little bit of cook time in, I want to show you guys the different kinds that you can get. So if you go to a local Latino market, a Mexican store, just honestly, I've even seen them in Walmart. And I think possibly in Food Lion. I haven't really checked other grocery stores, but there are shapes like dinosaurs, alphabet, bow ties, and fideo, which is, I think it's broken up vermicelli. There are still plenty of other ones. There's the longer noodles that are in there. There's just different shapes depending on the store and what they've got there. My favorite has always been the conchas because I love that it's like a little boat that has the broth inside of it, so that when I'm taking in my soup, I get a little extra broth inside of my shells. My kids also really love that. And then our second favorite would be the stars in the alphabet. It's a tie between them. In the soup itself, you can add in chicken, you can do ground beef, you can do steak, you can do tons of veggies. You can do the veggies by themselves, veggies with the protein, whatever it is that you're wanting inside of the soup, you can 100% do it. My mom used to do chicken a lot for us. But today, since I'm showing this to you guys for the first time, I wanted to give you guys just the base soup so that after that, any videos going forward where I make this soup, I can show you guys with different veggies and proteins in it. But at least you have the base and you know how to make the basic form of the soup. Okay, so it's been cooking for about 3 minutes now. And I don't know if you can tell the difference, but there's already a change in the color. It's gone from like pink to like that orangey red color. So at this point, I'm gonna add in water. Normally I would add chicken stock, but I ran out. So I've got some Better Than Bullion chicken base here. I'm gonna add that in with the water to make my stock. I am going to put the lid on now, and I'm gonna let that cook until that pasta is cooked through, and then I'll check the broth to see if it needs any more salt at that point. So now I'm gonna move on to the side that's gonna go with it. The accompaniment that usually always goes with this are quesadillas. You can make those out of flour tortillas or out of corn tortillas. I will always and forever prefer corn. I love flour tortillas, but I've told you guys before, those are more like a special meals kind of a thing. Those aren't normally eaten with every meal in Mexican cuisine. So for my quesadillas, because I did want to add chicken to the soup, but I decided not to for the video, I did have some leftover chicken in the fridge. And what I'm gonna do with the chicken is I am going to shred it so that I can add it inside of the quesadillas, and then my kids will have chicken quesadillas with their soup. I know I've said this before in other videos, but I'm gonna tell you guys in every video that I use them in because I absolutely love these. I'm not sponsored, but I mean, if they want to sponsor me at some point, I'm here for it. These corn tortillas right here are the best that any store can provide you. I get these at any local Latino supermarkets, any Mexican stores, and also at our local flea market. They have this huge produce area where they keep lots of these. It's $2.50 and you get 36 corn tortillas in them. And they are absolutely amazing. They have no preservatives. I'm currently flipping them on my comal. They've got no preservatives in them, so they don't have that gross acidic taste that you find in the ones that you get at like Walmart or Publix or whatever that are in those plastic bags. Those never really taste good, and they have that really weird acidic taste in them, and that's from the preservatives. These are literally just the corn and the water and the calcium lime that's used to do the nixtamalization process that a corn tortilla needs to be a corn tortilla. If you have found that you don't like corn tortillas, it is most likely because those are the ones that you've tried. So if you can find ones with no preservatives or just these right here, I promise you the flavor is just gonna be completely different, and you probably will change your mind about the way you feel about corn tortillas. To make these quesadillas, I've already started to heat up some corn tortillas. So I don't have any shredded cheese, I don't have any block cheese. I only had some sliced cheese in my fridge, so that's what I'm gonna use today. So I put down a slice, and now I'm gonna put some chicken on top of that. And to make sure it seals the other half of that slice, I'm gonna put it right on top of that and fold it over. I'm just gonna keep doing that with the rest of these. I give the kids with their bowls of soup each 2 quesadillas. These tortillas, like I said, I already heated up. As you can tell, they're nice and pliable. When I bend them, they're not gonna crack and break. If you just try to make a quesadilla on a straight cold tortilla, when you go to fold it, it's going to split down the middle, and then you're gonna have all of your filling coming out. So this has already been heated up. If you happen to have a corn sensitivity or you just don't care for corn products, then you can definitely do this with a flour tortilla, but the same applies. Heat up the flour tortilla first before you add in the fillings, or the same thing's gonna happen. It'll crack or it can break. Okay, I just cut the heat off. You can see that the pasta is completely cooked through. My kids don't know that I planned on doing this, but I'm actually gonna have them be the ones to do the tasting in the video, so you guys can see how they feel about it rather than me, the person who made it, because obviously I'm gonna think it's delicious, but now you get to see what my kids think.
Good girl. It's good. Hot. But hot. Make this stuff now. Ooh. Ooh.
The chicken is good, huh?
Mm-hmm. And did I go? Oh, yes, I did. It's so good.
What's your favorite shape? The letras, estrellas, conchas, dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs. My favorite, the stars.
Estrellas.
Mm-hmm.
This one came out really good. This one came out really good. It's a really basic tomato-based soup, but it is so good, especially on a cold day like this, or when you're in a rush to make a quick, really simple meal. My kids eat it. Every time I make it, anytime their friends come over, I'll make this too, and everybody enjoys every bit of it. The toasting of the shells, you don't want to skip that part because it really does change the flavor of the soup. The oil got infused with that onion flavor, and so then when that oil infuses with that onion flavor, it also gives it to the shells. And then that pasta being toasted gives it that nice nutty flavor, and so the depth of the soup itself changes. So simple changes in the way that you're cooking things, like instead of just dumping in the pasta and toasting it ahead of time, just those simple little things make all the difference. So that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comments if you tried this soup. I grew up on this stuff, and it's just a really basic staple meal that I always have on hand, all the ingredients in my pantry and in my refrigerator. I hope that it becomes a staple in your home too. If you haven't already, I hope that you're willing to hit that subscribe button and stick around with me for a while on my journey to becoming a homesteader. I'll see you in the next one.